Thank you, Professor Edward Bantu, for joining us today. Well, looking at today's incident, it's simply an example of the recent unbecoming behavior we've been seeing from the security personnel. Do you think mental preparedness has been prioritized while recruiting people to join the security department?
I would like to indicate that indeed they do go through proper training, and more important, on the skillsmanship, and also in terms of being what they ought to be. But one of the aspects where they are not properly educated is on mental wellness, mental assessment, because there are people who are not even supposed to be handling guns after having gone through a mental checkup. And we do mental checkup to check the suitability or unsuitability of an individual to stand and protect himself and also protect others. One of the roles of the LDUs is to keep peace, protect others, and even protect their own welfare. However, if they are inhibiting levels of stress, anxiety, depression, they are not able to manage that. But in particular for this LDU person, we can say that he has been having and harboring a lot of issues in his heart.
There has been the issue of low pay. Some security personnel say this sort of demotivates them. Do you think this contributes to the way they behave while on duty?
Money should not be superseding the need for service, because if I've been trained, I need to present myself to have the love of the profession that I have chosen to be. So what happens again, that does not mean that people will not have problems. People will always have problems. They have problems of income, they are coping negatively. When the problems overwhelm them, they now get into coping mechanisms.
We also know that you did a study looking at the mental preparedness of people within the security department. What were some of your discoveries?
One was to do with personality, and the other one was to do with anxiety, stress, and also boss superior supervisor relationships. And also we also asked about pay. But in our study, we found out that some of these things come as number 5, for example. Low pay as number 5. The highest cause of some of these crimes that they commit are more mental, they are more psychological.
Well, also, ever since the lockdown was imposed, we've seen increase in the number of domestic cases, and today's incident was not any different. Do they sort of have a counselor they can run to in the event that they have issues to do with their heart?
No, I have said that mental health has not been given the due process. And we are now calling upon institutions and actually requesting and recommending to government to make sure that there is employment of psychologists in all industries, in military. And I'm very happy that like in UPDF we have a number of counselors who are there, but would like them to be separate from the normal routines that they have. They should be specifically for mental health.
And maybe finally, what are some of your recommendations to the government to ensure that security personnel are better prepared, are better trained to carry out their day-to-day duties without, hurting or violating the citizens' rights?
We would like the LDUs to be more organized, because the government had in mind to help these people keep and protect, keep the property of the people and protect the people. And that is the expectation of the people in the community. They expect there should be a section of counselors in all the posts, because the public image of these police officers and LDUs is being mad. Because, for example, if they commit a crime as a LDU, the people in the community will think it is police, because they're also putting on a uniform. And therefore, there shall be a contradiction of roles in the various forces, right? So we need to control that contradiction so that in each level we provide what is called mental assessment for all of them. When they are on duty, when they are going on duty, they need to have to be prepared mentally. If we discover that some people are inhibiting psychological illnesses and all that, they cannot go for duty, we shall refer them to mental health centers where they can get counseling.